Why not start? Oh, my least favorite midday after lunch repair. iPhone 10 saltwater damage. Ah! Boo! Look at this. This is a nightmare. I can't stand ones like this. I've already put out a bunch of fires on the other side of this board. And you know, you don't even look under the shield initially and you're like, oh, I'm almost done because look, I made it all pretty. And then it boots up, no touch. You're like, don't, no. Took off this shield. That is, blah. All right, so I thought, why not do a little stream, and you guys in chat could commiserate, right? You could cheer me up a little bit. So I'm pretty much just gonna swap. One of my favorite things about the Acorn chip, not favorite things to hate about the Acorn chip is that it has no orientation mark. Have you guys noticed that before? There's no dot on this. Now this guy is Acorn, clever, huh? Because Acorn sounds like Chestnut. Chestnut is the display and touch driver in every phone earlier than the iPhone 10, and now it's the lovely, lovely dotless Acorn chip. So we're gonna have to get Acorn. I mean, it's definitely gonna be all corroded under there. I'm gonna delete the speaker amp chip. Thankfully, this I think is a speaker coil. If it's the Acorn coil, then I'm going to cry. And then I got to get these two special caps back on there. And the way I'm going to do that is just transfer it all over from a donor board. So let's look at the donor board. And I'm going to show you how I get my shields off on the iPhone 10. Now, some of you may remember, and I still need to make this video. This is a video I still need to make. That Dakota Black came from the Woodlands, Texas to sit right here with me for a week. And he heard me talking about shield removal and taking off shields. And he heard me talking about how nobody remembers how I teach how to take off the iPhone 5, 6, 6S, those guys, those shields with high heat, high air max nozzle. So he went out and got a tattoo of how to take shields off. Max heat, max air, big nozzle on his leg. Jessa Jones, my name tattooed on Dakota's leg for now and forevermore. That happened, and I've always kind of felt like a little nervous about that because that is the way that we take off shields for the earlier iPhones, but not for, iPhone 10. So this shield, the way I'm going to take this off, same for iPhone 12, same for iPhone XR. I just use this little technique where I use the iPad Rehab Short Killer right here, available in multiple colors. I have red, my favorite, and I'm going to just really gently, now this is a donor board so I don't care as much about it, but this is the technique that I use on this particular shield because you can get into a lot of trouble. Who knows, chat, what chip is directly under this little bracket on the other side of the board? How could I get into trouble? Let's see if you guys have worked on enough of these to know what is directly under there. Show me, chat. Let's find out. Let's see if I can pop out chat. Is that working?
It's also right here.
Huh? Oh, I can't read over there. That's congratulations on the mention in Wired. Yeah, I just got a text about that like a few minutes ago. And it was from, this is like a weird relationship, like I'm not really sure how to describe it, but when I was in Mr. Kenny Watson's calculus class in 1991, I sat next to a guy named Chet, and he was a grade above me, and Chet was just somebody that I knew, kind of like upperclassmen, but me and Chet didn't really like hang out a lot, but I knew him. And then my mom died, and then my dad married Chet's mom. So Chet's now like my brother, which is super weird because we both, we were like in grad school when that happened. So oh no, I damaged the chip. I was being careless because it was a donor board, but it looks like I was a little bit too careless. That is a giant fail. That's in the what not to do category. Don't be distracted talking about, you know, weird high school relationships. So now it's weird because Chet is technically my brother, right? My stepbrother, I guess. But it's just kind of weird because, you know, like I haven't seen him in years. All right, we're going to do this again. And this time I'm going to be more cautious. But he sent me just a text, which says, you know, hey, you're famous. What are you talking about? I had no idea what he was talking about. So he sent a link to this Wired article, which I think made mention of my little open forum comment to one of my heroes, Lena Khan from the FTC, who is super pro repair. So she's fantastic. And, you know, I told them to do their job. Maybe that was a little bit rude. All right, here we go. Here's a beautiful, new, dotless, lovely, luscious, beautiful working Acorn chip that is going to go onto my horrendously water damaged board in just, you wait a few seconds, and that's going to pop right out. All right. Good thing you two never hooked up. You got it, Toby. Good thing. I mean, you know. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Chet was dating Angie DiPietro. I remember that. Yeah. Good thing. Okay. Let's start with the bad board, and we're just going to start going at it. All right. We're going to take off. I'm going to delete the speaker amp first, and then I'm going to just remove this ugly look. Oh, no. We moved the hot air. Oh, we moved the hot air over here. Check this out, guys. This is a rare view I've never seen before on my channel. Dun, da, da, da. Side cam. Look at that. Look, you can see my beautiful clean desk. I cleaned it up just for this stream. Everything is in its place, super professional. Usually I'm wearing a white coat, and I have this all draped in pristine white with a fume hood that you guys can't see. But I took all that down. All right, here we go. Also, I'm moved over. It's weird. I'm like, I got to point like the other way. Very discombobulated. All right, now I'm going to rip off. Oh, God, this is bad. Here we go. We might have to do a little bit more rearranging here. So my hot air was in the shot, so I had to delete it. And now we've kind of like leveled up on the multitasking things that you have to remember. Setting up my stream deck. All right, so here is the disgusting looking speaker amp. Get off my board. And part of me feels like taking a risk and saying, well, that wasn't as corroded as I thought. So maybe Acorn is fine, and the only thing that it really needs are these two little caps. Now, why would it need those two little caps instead of like the thousands of other caps that I have knocked off all sorts of boards while you guys stand by? Look what's special about these caps. What can you tell me? They don't have what? You tell me. Come on. What is it? Look at every single cap. What is that? Ground, 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 ground. What's special about them? There's no ground. So that makes them not something that I can just kick off the board and throw away, right? So there we go. We're going to have to put those guys back in order to get our Acorn chip to work. So part of me kind of thinks maybe I could just get those two little guys on there and it would just like magically work. But I don't know. I think it's unlikely. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to take off. And I'll tell you what, this thing better have a ton of corrosion under it, or I'm going to get cranky. All right. I'm really curious about why it doesn't have any orientation mark. Like, I don't know any other chip. Yeah, there we go. Ton of corrosion. Yeah. The ugly looking. That is quite possibly the ugliest Acorn I've ever seen. That is quite ugly. Look at that. Okay. And now we rebuild. So how many of you guys in chat have had to resurrect iPhone 10 saltwater damage. Oh, we're missing pads. This is going to be rough. This is going to be, this one, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I decided to stream this. I think sometimes I feel like the channel has too much straightforward stuff that I know is like, you know, just going to be really nice. But the guy for this phone, we're going to actually make an edited video. So we're going to make an edited video of this entire repair. So this is just kind of a teaser. This is going to be a you know, deleted scenes. Well, that's a lot of salt under there. And I would like to hear from you guys in chat. If we were to go back through iPad Rehab channel, and I'm sitting here with our new video editor, and we told him, hey, go back through the channel and dig out like some of your favorite clips. Like what are some like funny moments or like something that you remember that's buried deep in some 2-hour stream that we could say, no, let's pull that out and make a series of shorts. Wouldn't that be cool? I want to hear what you guys think in chat. Anything that you remember that would be kind of like a good short video, while I kind of become a really depressed cleaning lady here with this. I mean, this is just destroyed. Oh my God. I mean, speaker amps cleaning up okay, but man, that Acorn chip is a nightmare. All right, let's keep going with that. All right. Disaster board to repair. You got it. It is a disaster. And I'm probably going to, this will probably be the stream where I really lose it and just start crying when this gets all fixed and then it doesn't, like it's got some other problem. I don't think I could handle it. Oh, this is brutal. Oh, this is some thick, chunky, gross corrosion that's still under there. You see that? That is tough, right? Toby says this is obviously data recovery only. You got it. I mean, this is under no circumstance am I going to warranty this as, sure, just, you know, keep using this phone indefinitely. It'll be fine. It's just a little. So the story is that the guy got pushed into a saltwater pool. And then he realized like there's a lot of like really cool stuff. So what I think would be fun to do with a video editor would be to start trying to add in more of like the people aspect of these stories. You know, like if we can get this to actually get recovered, wouldn't it be fun to call him up and like just talk to him and just, you know, be like, what are you looking forward to getting back? And tell us about like that moment, you know, when you know, everybody has that like great fear of like getting pushed into a saltwater pool. You know, like it can happen to anybody. It does happen to so many people. Like that moment when you realized, oh no, everything's on the phone and it's not backed up. And I'll tell you, I have been struggling. My own phone is so full on storage. It is impossible to back it up. If you haven't backed it up, you know, if you're for a while and you're kind of like, I don't want to use the cloud, I don't like that. The phone does not like to be in a situation where you say, fine, back it up to iCloud. There's 60,000 things on here that are not backed up. The phone is just like, well, I don't know what you want me to do. I quit. It's just kind of an overwhelming task. All right. This one will never start again. What? Cranky Jessa is the best Jessa. Is that true? That's definitely not what my kids think. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, we had one of those episodes this morning where it's tough. You know, teenagers are tough. They got to learn how to manage schedules and stuff. So there's a whole lot of, when do you need to be somewhere? Don't worry about it. I got it handled. Which really means, don't worry about it. I'm going to tell you that I need to be somewhere an hour away 45 minutes from now, and you're going to have to stop what you're doing and handle all that. It's a lot like that. So we've got my 16-year-old is taking his driver's test tomorrow. So stay off the roads. I mean, I'm sure it's fine. So he's out with getting legit driver's lessons, and I really hope he passes so that I don't have to do things like figure out where his schedule is, where he needs to be. We will see. I wish him luck. I haven't checked your videos lately. How is the Tesla? I'll tell you something about the Tesla that we learned. The Tesla is very, very weak at breaking iPhones. So we put it to the test. We tried to break an iPhone 10 for legitimate business purposes. We were trying to recreate that classic problem of no touch after drop, which is due to all these pulled pads that you get with. What it turns out is you get that with a really bad drop. Like if you really kind of throw your phone, what we call girlfriend damage. That's how you create that problem. And we found out that running over an iPhone 10 with a Tesla will not break it. And we tried many times. In fact, we tried not only with the Tesla, but also with about 20 cars that were just happening to go through the intersection here at the iPad Rehab Mothership. And none of them, zero, entire afternoon spent trying to break an iPhone 10 so that it would have no touch. Couldn't do it. So that's what I learned about the Tesla and the iPhone 10. Other than that, I will say the Tesla it's been really fun to drive. It is really fun. I mean, it kind of sort of drives itself. I mean, it's kind of like letting a toddler drive, but the toddler's like really smart, so you kind of trust it. So you're like, okay. And then it'll do something completely like a toddler, like launch itself down the exit ramp or just decide to fire you from steering. It's like, fine, then you steer. But it still controls the gas. Fine, you steer. What? Or just, you'll see like something where you have to like swerve out of the way because there's like, an obvious something in the road. Like here's a postal truck right there, so we need to go around it. And it will freak out. You're going in the other lane! And I know, so that we don't die, like I'm trying to keep us alive. So it's been a lot of fun. I really like it so far. So please remind me of that in a few years. But I've found that I kind of like go out of my way to like drive to not just drive the minivan. I really like it. I don't know. It's been pretty fun. All right, so we've got all of this. All of these pads are cleaning up more or less. And we are missing one, which is going to be rough, because we are going to have to make a jumper. Do you see that? Boo! Hiss! All right, let's go look it up. Do we actually need this missing pad? I don't know. Problems hate recreating themselves in the moment everyone is watching, or rather, things go correctly the moment that I whine about it. I hear you. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, we tried all sorts of different theories on that. We made the last video on the channel, which was done by New Video Guy, sitting right here. So give him all your ideas. I want to hear from you guys. What can we dig up from old videos that would be fun to make into a short? For example, the time with the Olive phone where I took an iPhone 5 PMIC off and then realized I didn't have another one, and then Mark got up from bed, drove over here, put one in my hand, and then I accidentally soldered the old one back on. Stuff like that, like I know there's like stuff on here. All right, let's see. I would have pitched the phone in the garbage after taking the chip off. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I feel like doing right now. All right, I learned a lot of you over the years. Miss you so much. Without black glue. All right. Yeah, a Jeep was one of them. A Jeep was one of the cars, yeah. Okay, first question, do we actually need, and almost certainly the answer is yes, this missing pad. Let's head to ZXW and find out what is the answer to that question? So ZXW, we are going to look up and say, is it the number 2 pad? And yes, of course, it's our buddy VDD main, the main power supply for the whole entire chip, which means, you betcha, it's got to be there or that chip ain't going to do nothing. So, and now we rebuild, all right? So we're going to go back away from ZXW land, and we're going to have to put the world's tiniest jumper. Technically, we don't really have to go to that little via there, although we could, and that might be the most logical thing to do. But let me, because we're also going to have to put these 2 caps back there. That is going to be tight. Can you imagine making a jumper from this tiny spot to that pad? Oof. Let's go on a hunt. Let's find someplace better. I need to do something that maybe is less incredibly nonsense than that. All right, so we can go to, that's a terrible looking VCC main spot there on that cap. It's even worse on the other cap there. It's quite ugly over here. And there's really absolutely nothing that looks, this looks like someone threw up on this entire board. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm missing VDD main ball. So I got to put a jumper there, but I could tie the other end to any of VDD main. Here, I vote no. Here, no. And even over here, like they're all terrible choices. Terrible, terrible choices. So everything in this area, ugh, is horrible. You know what? I don't know. What should I do? You guys tell me. Help me pick. Should I make the super tiny jumper right there? Should I just walk away and make Ryan do it, which I kind of am a fan of that idea? Or should I go to, let me see if I can see where this goes. Should I go to this guy? Did you want to make a jumper? Do you want to make a jumper? No. But you didn't even look.
I think my 8 is short in the NAND.
What makes you think that?
I put 1.8 volts into that circuit on the bottom, on the back side, looked around for a long time. Nothing stood out except the fact that the NAND itself was getting hot.
Do you see a crack in it?
There is what looks to be a crack.
Well, let me see it real quick. And we'll throw it away. Is it from drop?
No, they just say iPhone just died in charger.
Died in charger?
Yeah.
Did you change TriStar?
Nope.
Okay, so all you did to it was like look for 1V8 short? After you did that display line probing?
Yeah, because it had no display and it was just hanging out on. And that seemed like a valid reason why it would.
Okay.
That would explain its behavior on DC power.
All right, let's take a quick look together. All right, so complaint is charger?
They say randomly died on charger.
Randomly died on charger. Okay. Did you take the shield off?
Yeah.
Looking for 1V8 heat?
Yeah, because I put 1V8 heat in 2 places, one on the bottom, one on the top.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't see anything.
You dug up around the connector? Yeah, 1V8 short is, sucks. All right, so you saw heat at NAND.
Yeah, I know it's pretty obvious. If I held it on there, it would get hotter and hotter, and light would come out from around each side.
So we're doing a quick little tangent repair here. The beauty of live stream. Let's see if we can be sure. All right, which ones of these are 1v8? This one we put a wire on once, that must be it. That's where you had your wire? All right, sounds pretty reasonable. Do you see heat just from DC power? Did you try that? Because I don't feel like soldering a wire.
I didn't look for heat just from DC power.
Okay, so you went directly to soldering wire on that, which is totally fine. Okay.
I mean, I looked for heat earlier.
All right.
But I didn't specifically look around the
Okay. All right, let's see what happens on the super cam. Super cam it up. Okay, so you have 400 milliamps short, and you know that it is PP1V8. All right. I mean, on these, it's like your only hope is NAND cap. All right.
Yeah, I did switch caps.
Yeah, I get it. Smart. All right, we're gonna see what the supercam says. Look, I set the supercam up. God damn it! Somebody said that they liked cranky. I don't know about that. Oh. I'm getting ready to break this board in half. I already got I'm only accepting one.
There is a broken in half board in this room. That's the only remaining 7 or 7 plus that we have. It's a board that is split.
Okay, now look here we go. Look at this, it's gonna be amazing. Oh, super cam. All right. Whoa. Wow. That's crazy. Look at this. You don't think it's like, I mean, it seems to be emanating, like you said, from under there. I think that I think you're going to have to just delete 1v8 NAND caps there, and then you're really going to have to take the NAND off to see if you can find a reason that it would be like that. Right? So if those are 1v8 caps, delete them. And if you still have a short, then you can kind of prove that it's in the NAND by taking the NAND off the board and then doing that. Can you do that?
I don't know how to take an end off. It's the same as.
You saw me do the Hydro chip the other day, right? It's going to be similar. Have you done an underfilled TriStar?
No.
All right. So you're going to, have you seen it done?
No.
God damn it. You're fine. All right. I mean, delete those caps and then check in with me. And then, we would cut a thin border with like this guy. This tool, that guy. Cut a thin border, and then you would have to like delete some so that you have a space to go in with this tool, and then, go, heat it up like it's a regular chip, but know that it's glued down with underfill under there. Heat it up, heat it up, heat it up until this can slide in like butter. And then once it can slide in like butter, pull your heat back to this edge here while your tool is in there, and then kind of go like that, and then flip it, and that NAND will pop right off.
I feel like I might want you to do that.
Okay, take off the caps and make sure you still have a short, and then return. All right, now we got to get this iPhone 10 fixed before Ryan shows back up here. How about this? Why don't we trade jobs, and you could just put a little simple, you can do a jumper under a chip because you're like audio IC guy, right? think we should trade jobs. What do you say?
What am I doing? I don't know what I'm taking on.
All you have to do is put a thin jumper under a chip. I mean, it's no big deal. Oh, he said deal. Yes. Great. Sweet. All right, this is going to be our VDD main spot right here. All right. So SuperCam versus the Seek Compact Pro. My favorite is still Seek Compact Pro, but for something like if you need to document where the hotspot is on something like that, then I think SuperCam is pretty okay. All right, on this job, oh, this is rough. So look, this is easy, right? Look at this chip. Like, it's got a missing pad from severe corrosion.
Yep.
And it's got to go right here. But everybody wants to see it happen. What do you think? Too hard?
Go where?
It's got to. So you're missing a pad, right?
I see.
Yeah. So that is a VCC main pad. So one way or another, VCC main has to appear there on a wire that's sitting right there. Here's a VCC main spot.
Oh no. I don't know about that.
Okay. Did you take these caps off?
No.
All right, return when you have a short with no caps. All right, fine. Fine. All right, I need some thin jumper wire, for real. All I have is a box. I have nothing.
You just want the caps that were on that side off?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Do you have any jumper wire?
Super thin?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you deliver?
Mason, you ready? No, that ruins it.
Are you going to throw it over? Yeah, do it. That's a good idea. All right. We did one stream where we had Christy behind the green screen with just her hands, like handing us stuff when we were pretending that we worked at Foxconn, me and Mark.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Foxconn is? No. What? Place where they assemble iPhones with the suicide nets.
Oh, okay, wait, maybe I do.
Yeah, of course you do. All right, here we go. Tiny little jumper. This is quite thin, so I'm not sure it's the best choice for VCC main, but it's the choice that we are going to go with. Oh man, this is so tiny. This is crazy tiny. All right, where is this? Okay. What size is the jumper wire? Extremely tiny. Very, very, very little. It's almost too small to even talk about. All right, I think I'm gonna have to move that one because I gotta put my little caps there. In fact, I think I'm gonna put my cap there, and then I'll move this jumper wire because it's got to go a different way. All right, we're gonna take that back off. Move it over here.
Just how old is the apple up there?
What? Oh, you mean the actual red apple?
Yeah.
It's for class week, you know. So
Is it
stuff
edible?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Should I wash it?
Oh my God. God, you should come eat this apple on stream, and then we'll have a lot of fun if you You know, if it turns out to be a poison apple, and then you like go all Snow White on us. Oh my God. Is he always like this?
These are the weird hesitations. Bizarre.
You got me in the mood, Justin.
Okay.
You have a 2016 MacBook I can take apart. Swap the drive.
Do I have a 2016 MacBook?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Can I look somewhere?
Yeah, you can look back in the back, like where iPad parts are.
Okay.
How
Okay.
many caps can I get permission to take out?
All of them, but maybe like hang on to them in case we need them again. All right, here we go. Is that a 10R? No. All right. This is an iPhone 10 with saltwater damage, making it have no touch due to profound damage under the formerly great Acorn chip. And I'm having to transfer over some of these special caps from a donor board. And then we're going to have to run a jumper. Oh man, that's tiny. So tiny. Ooh, that's tiny. All right, 2 caps are on there, yeah. And now let's check that little guy at the end. Do we really need the little guy at the end? And then we're going to go back to the jumper. All right, little guy at the end is just a regular capacitor. See that ding ding? So we're not going to bother to put that back on. And let's go back over here. All right, is the 1612A1 compatible with iPhone 11? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I have not... I don't think that's come up. Maybe it has. Maybe if I looked at one, I'd be like, oh yeah. But I don't know off the top of my head. All right, let's see. Why don't you give it a try and then tell us, because we'd all like to know. All right. We are going to go now. Here is our jumper that we're going to smash down right into the VCC main spot. And then turn off our hot air and stretch it out and place it right here. Does it still have a 1v8 short?
0.00.
All right. Okay. So sorry, the lizards fixed many of my devices before. Yes, we are definitely going to make some kind of a rice lizard video. Faux shizzle. I really want chat to come up with some things that are funny from old videos that we could dig up and make shorts.
Are we just not caring about the failure of this to
Huh?
transfer all pictures? Was it that many, or can I just ignore
What does it say? You can look them up and see if they're, usually that means that they're already in iCloud. You know, like they're not on the phone.
it?
So if
They
you
got
do
65 gigs, so sounds like enough to me.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna make a little thin green paste here. A little bit of thin green. A little soylent green. It turns so bright. And we're gonna use that to make this jumper sit down. All right. Hey, Jessa, first time catching you live. Thanks for all that you do. Well, thanks for watching, Chris. Hopefully, you'll get to see this phone working. Hopefully, and if not, you'll get to see Jessa break it in half. Start crying. Is there crying in board repair? I think so. I think it should be encouraged. I think crying is perfectly healthy when your super tiny jumper just doesn't want to do what you want it to do. All right, I'm going to hold it down just like that. And I'm going to cross my fingers that this UV light is plugged in, but it's not. So I'm going to plug it in right now and hope that it works. There we go. All right. Now we're cooking. There we go, little jumper. Don't touch that guy. I don't want you to touch that guy. Are you touching that guy? Break it up. Yeah, you're not touching that guy. All right, we're going to put that to the side. That little guy was just a little bit too close for how I wanted him to be. I want him to be a little bit better behaved than that. So we're going to pull him where he's supposed to go again and just be sure that he can't really touch the neighbors. Do not touch the neighbors. And pull him quite flat. There you go. And now that's where you're going, buddy. Yeah, now you're not going to get into any trouble. Man, that is tiny. All right. All I'm remembering is lizards at the moment. How long did it take you to learn microsoldering, and how did you go about it? I know the answer to that. It was 2013 because I just saw a Facebook memory about fixing a bunch of iPads back when I could buy huge lots of iPads on eBay. So 2013, that's when I started to do that. Hey, Jessa, have you seen many issues with the iPhone 12? Yeah, I think the iPhone 12 is going to have considerable death by charger problems just because we've seen a number of them. They also have a really thin board. It's like a piece of chewing gum, so they get a lot more cracks in the NAND and CPU than you'd think. So that sucks. Plus, you know, it's definitely not like fun to have to take the board out at all, as you've seen. All right, so we're going to pop that off. Okay, now we're going to investigate and say, does that look like it could actually make a connection? So we're going to have to edit the green a little bit to get it off of this area. Now that wire, I was using the green almost like a pair of tiny fingers, a little pair of microscopic hands, so that it would just hold this wire where I want it to go, which is right there. Okay, boom. Get the rest of the green out of here. Okay. Now I'm looking around. I've got my cap. I've got a place for all of my Acorn pads to land. All right, good enough. That board is prepped, and now we've got to go dig up and reball and new Acorns. So we're going to put that over here to the side, and we're going to dig out this guy. All right. Jessa, working in that kitchen. Yes, I'm working kind of like the janitor or the dishwasher. It's what it feels like. You know, I have to bus tables. I feel like that's what I am, like kind of a bus boy. All right. I'm going to make my own dot. X marks the spot. I'll tell you a story. One time, way back before I started really getting into microsoldering, I saw that somebody on eBay was doing iPhone 5 U2 jobs, so TriStar of the iPhone 5, for something super cheap. And I was like, that can't possibly be real. So somebody's doing this TriStar job for way cheap. So I sent him one just to see whether or not he was actually changing the chip or what the deal was. And I sent him this iPhone 5, and then I got it back, and it charged. Oh, okay. And then I took the board out, and TriStar is under the CPU shield. CPU shield was on there. I took the CPU shield off, and written on the chip, he had written something that we couldn't really tell whether or not he had like etched letters into it, and I couldn't tell if it said thank you or fuck you. It was like indistinguishable, you know, like written on the die of the chip. It was just like I wrote the letter X. It said something you with like a K. Is it fuck you? That's like so, you know, like would you? I don't know. So I ended up like figuring out who that was, and then years later, like, what's the mystery? Did it say thank you or fuck you on the chip? And he was like, oh, you saw that. It said thank you. He's like, I would never. Oh my God. He was horrified. You know, he was like religiously horrified that I would ever think that maybe he had scratched the fuck you into the TriStar chip. F and T are hard to tell apart. Yeah, I'm telling you, it really was. I really wonder whatever happened to that guy. I mean, that was like, you know, that was crazy. I mean, iPhone 5 TriStar is, you know, that's like some work. All right, I'm going to be really mad, and I will probably cry if I can't see my little X marks the spot on this chip after I get done reballing it. I'll tell you that right now. Can I use regular UV glue instead of solder mask? I don't know the answer to that because I've never tried that experiment, but I do know that I'm a big fan of experiments in trying new stuff. All right, so we are going to reball the lovely Acorn, and then we're going to see that beautiful X. It's going to be right there. It's going to be so easy to see. It's not going to give me any trouble. All right, let's look for, sure, iPhone 8, you'll do, right? You'll be fine. All right. So, did you eat the apple, Mason? Are you still alive?
Yeah, it was good.
Nice. Look at that, success. All right. Here we go. Last night, I made some amazing stuff. It was from the Love and Lemons recipe site, which I really like that one. And like, I'm not vegetarian, but they have a lot of awesome vegetarian stuff on there. So I made a recipe that was like, it took forever. I mean, I shouldn't have picked that one because it said right off, like, listen, what I pretty much did was I had all these other recipes and then I just combined them to make this one, and it was so good I've made it a bunch of times. So that meant that I had to make, first, step one, make grilled sweet potatoes. I don't even like sweet potatoes, but these were just like so good. So you had to like boil them, and then you had to cut them up, and then you had to put them on a grill and grill sweet potatoes. And then you had to make a mango salsa, and then you had to make an adobo, Does it work? Can you hear me? Rip audio. Replace batteries. You should be good. Thanks. Will do. This is your YouTube support agent. Your free trial of audio has expired. No audio. No audio. ASMR reballing. Ha! Battery for the win. Look at that. If we don't fix anything else today, at least the microphone works. All right, continuing on. We're going to get this up. I used to teach at RIT, which is known for having a NTID, National Technical Institute of the Deaf. So we had a lot of hearing impaired kids. And man, those kids, their ability to lip read was just stunning. I mean, I had some like completely deaf kids that would take biology with me, and like it was amazing. I do remember that it was like first one of my fun sports, like it was almost like a hobby, was telling funny stories and stuff like that just to make the interpreter have to interpret them. So if I'm like telling some story and I'm like, and then I went up to that guy and I went pop, pop, then I'd look over and she would have to pretty much do the same thing. Oh, good times. All right, here we go. Beautiful, lovely looking Acorn. Now that is an Acorn. That's the finest Acorn of all the woods right here. But we're going to reball. We're going to tighten up the balls just to make sure that we don't have any little bits or anything like that. Where can I get ZXW? You can get ZXW from iPadRehab.store. That's iPadRehab.store, our new store, where you can look in all of our many collections, including Perfect Start, everything you need to start microsoldering today. Go to iPadRehab.store, check it out. And you too can cry when tiny little stuff doesn't work and it drives you crazy. All right, let's see. Okay, is there any app like ZXY for free? You can ZXY. You can go on a hunt. I don't know what ZXY is. All right. I can see my X. This is the greatest day ever. Do you see it? It's my little X. Maybe that's why that guy like wrote thank you or whatever on that chip. Do you see the X? Yay! What an awesome day. This chip is going to go on and it's going to be great and it's not going to have any problems and it's going to work. Or I'm going to cry. All right, let's see. Okay, let's put it where it goes. This is really rough, right? We got this VDD main jumper, a bunch of replacement caps. Ugh, this is really crappy. I always hate saltwater because I always forget that it goes under this spot. It's just always goes here. It's just a nightmare always. And there's so many times where I'll, fix all the other stuff on the board and just forget to even look under the shield because you don't really have to look under here except for this problem. And when you do look under here, you cannot unsee the misery that's iPhone 10 saltwater damage just like this. All right. I do microsoldering repair for the Mac, and I'm considering making the move to iOS. Do you have a special recommendation or advice or a primary tool? My advice, if you're coming from MacBook to iOS, is this. MacBooks are like dogs. iPhones are like cats. On a MacBook, you can kind of be aggressive, like, hey, what's going on here? Poke around, poke, poke. Well, can I move that? Scrape, scrape. What's this? Can't do that on an iPhone. iPhones are delicate. They're little cats, and they're prissy, and they don't like you to mess with them. So you got to treat them accordingly, and you'll do just fine. All right, get on there now. Get on there, little Acorn. Go on home. Okay. Hopefully I didn't overheat the other side of the board. If I did, then PMIC replacement will be done. All right, so that is going to cool down. That goes over there, that goes over there. All right. iPhones are like some insects that just disintegrate when you barely touch them. This one sure is. This one sure is. Absolutely. All right, now let's peek moment of truth to look on the other side. Did we overheat anything? So we're looking for those Mickey Mouse ears. Oh, thank goodness. No signs of overheating. Yay! All right, we're good to go. We're going to let this cool down, and then we're going to see whether or not this board boots up. The old Touch IC, exactly. All right. Okay. Might want to take a look at this, but no, you are busy. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. What IC are you replacing? We are replacing the Acorn chip. All right, now let's go over to the ye old hand cam and see. Please boot up with image and touch. So on this one, I think it was so bad that it couldn't even make a picture. All right, where's my screens? Here we go. Moment of truth. All right, by overheating, you mean knocking components off? Nope, I mean signs of little Mickey Mouse ears, signs of overheating because that area is all underfilled. And when you heat up metal, it expands and it creates this pressure, and then you'll see solder balls popping up out of those chips or little components adjacent to the chips, and that means that you got bad news, serious bad news, and you would have to dig up that chip and replace it before you could do anything else. Luckily, we didn't have that problem. All right, now we're either going to cry or we're going to jump up and dance. Could go either way. We don't know what the exciting conclusion will be. All right, iPhones are sus. Are they though? I mean, they're pretty predictable. This one, if you drop your iPhone 10 in a saltwater pool, and then you put it in rice, you will always have some kind of a problem here at the Acorn chip because they just don't like that. All right, here we go. We're going to plug it in. So far, so good. What time is it in your country? Right now, it is, it's 6:30. That's a lot later than I thought it was going to be. All right, we're going to zoom this back out. And prompt to boot somehow. Oh, yeah. I plugged in my green guy, my UV light. All right, here we go. Let's see. Prompt to boot. Prompt to boot. Nope, we didn't prompt to boot, and that fell off. Put it back. Show me some image. Come on, show me image. No image. Boo! Ah! All right, it's time to start crying. You can feel it welling up right now. It's getting ready any minute now. I'm going to start crying. All right, so DC Power Supply says this phone is booting, but I don't see anything. Boo. That is not my favorite, which means, maybe it means that screen's bad, but I doubt it. It means that we're going to have to just go measure here. We're going to have to do a little diode mode in the connector. Oh, man. All right. I feel pretty confident, though, in that Acorn job, but what do I know? Oh, good. We got good news. Look at the connector. We can see a little tiny speck of goo. Maybe that's the only reason that this thing doesn't have an image right now is just crud in the connector. Wouldn't that be great? All right, crud in the connector, deleting crud removal. Now this is where iPhones really do get prissy. Like a MacBook would not sweat a little bit of fuzz and light what havery in its connector. It would just plow right on past that and not even care. iPhone, nope. No can do. All right, here we go. However, I kind of want to do a quick diode mode down here. All right, I'm going to diode mode here in the LCD just to make sure that we're not missing any kind of like filter or something in this like horribly corroded area. And I really hope that's not the chestnut coil. I hope that's the chestnut coil and not this one. One of them is for speaker boost and the other one is for chestnut. All right, let's get that. Let's diode mode down there. All right, let's head over to ZXW and we are going to compare. All right, ZXW, what say you about our connector? Let's see. ZXW says that I have to go like this the whole time. Ugh. Or do I? Or can I just flip this board around? There we go. All right. Diode mode in the connector coming up. All right. Can you guys see that? Are you able to see the lovely ZXW? I think. All right. Scraping is raping. You got it. Scraping is raping. All right, I think I'm going to get some more T-shirts made with like today's catchphrases, like the problem is where the water goes, scraping is raping, and I don't even know what else it is. I feel like I say the same things again and again and again. If there's a short anywhere, there's a short everywhere. That one's a big one. All right, here we go. I am going to just call out what these are. All right, so in corner number 1, I have 0.3, so that's main, 0.3, OL. 0.6, that's a match, and the next one is NC, and then 0.6, that's a match, NC, 0.4, close enough, NC, 0.4 as well, and then we gotta move this over a little bit. And I'm gonna start at the other end of the connector and see what we get. So at the bottom end, 0.4, close enough. 0.4, close enough. Ground, 0.4, 0.4, ground, another ground, and then 0.3 for NC, 0.34. Seems okay on that side of the connector. Now let's look above. All right, next row up. Starting on that left side again, we have 0.4, 0.4 ground, 0.4, 0.4 ground, 0.4, 0.4 ground, which means we've got all of our image lines there, ground, and then we've got a bunch of NC not connected. All right, now let's go to the other end of the connector and just finish it off. All right, do we have a problem up here? 0.2 from the right, 0.7, close enough, 0.3, and then OL is normal, and then 0.7. All right, diode mode in the connector on point. Oh, so I hope that the reason why we have no image is just because we have schmutz in the connector, which would be a great lesson in iPhone versus iPad. Amazon delivery driver needs your help. Well, come on in. Put you on stream. All right, let's do this again. So we're going to go over to HandCam, and we are going to check out and see what happens when we try to set this up again. All right, let's see. Please adjust threshold on your mic gate. What does that mean? I don't think I can do that while... seems low. Is it low? It seems like okay. I don't think I can do any kind of specialty audio settings, not in the middle of a repair. But afterwards, please feel free to tell us what is going on with audio. All right. Good old schmutz. Yes, schmutz is a killer of many iPhones. And let's see, are you guys able to See or no? All right. I would really like to see an Apple logo. More importantly, I would like it to have touch. Even more than that, I would like it to boot all the way up. But I think it does boot all the way up. Okay. I don't see anything. No! I do! I see an Apple logo! Yay! Yay! Please have touch. Please have touch. Yay! Image is solved. Oh my gosh. Your mic is fine for me. It says my favorite, time and tide for nay man bide. I like that. That's a good go-to when you're trying to come up with the clever username for your Google account. Please have touch. Please have touch. Have touch. I'm willing you to have touch. Oh, he wanted like the wedding photos. It has touch. Yay! Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yay! Yay! All right. No crying today. No crying in board repair. This guy's got a path to data. It's great news for Peter and the proposal video where he proposed to his wife, plus a whole bunch of other stuff that he's looking to get off of this. We're going to do a full edited video of this repair coming soon to your favorite YouTube channel. As long as your favorite YouTube channel is this one, then you'll see it. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. I'll see you next time.